It is an astounding yes for me.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
I know I'm a broken record at this point. I talk about it time and time again that I am a huge advocate of the Spurs bringing back Kyle Anderson, but not everyone necessarily agrees with that. I understand. You might be wrong, but I understand. So let's talk about it. So first and foremost, Kyle Anderson most definitely can help this team. I'm going to go over all the points that just come to mind when I think of Kyle Anderson and why I truly do believe him being added to this team will bring great value to what we're trying to do. Now, before we do that, look, if you want to support the channel, it's only $2 per month. I really do appreciate it, and it really does help. But yeah, it's only $2 per month. I'm not really asking for anything else. If you want to give more, that's fine. But yeah, $2 per month. Patreon and YouTube members, link in the description for that. If you want to be a YouTube member, it's a little join button. All right, you just go to my channel and there's a little join button right here. You see it? See that little join button? You just click it. You just click that little join button. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's talk about. I'm stalling. I'm stupid. All right. So let's talk about Kyle Anderson. Now, first and foremost, I understand what people are going to jump to. Okay, they're going to jump to the stats, and I do understand it. So let's go ahead and jump to the stats really quickly. And I didn't really want to harp on his season with the Grizzlies, really, his season with the Grizzlies or the Spurs, because statistically he's going to be one of those guys that just doesn't show up. Like when it's all said and done, when you try to convince people in the future that Kyle Anderson was a phenomenal player, man, he was such a good player, high basketball IQ, you are not going to see it. Okay, someone's going to have to go to YouTube highlights to really solidify their opinion on Kyle Anderson, because his stats it's just not going to do him justice. Just like Manu Ginobili, stats just don't do these two guys justice. Okay, so I don't really want to harp on it. Even in the playoffs, if we scroll down here and we look at his playoffs thus far, it's nothing to really look at and get excited for, obviously. Okay, the only thing that you can get excited for is his plus minus, in which the second game he was plus 24, but I'm just assuming like most of the team was probably that high, but that's besides the point. All right, so let's talk about it. So first and foremost, how does Kyle Anderson fit? Now, I've said this so many times, and this might be crazy for some people to hear this, but I truly do mean this when I say it. I believe that Kyle Anderson, if I was an NBA player and I wanted to base my game off of someone before getting into the NBA. Let's say I was a college player or a young middle school, high school player, and I want to base my game off of someone. I said this time and time again. Some people will say Michael Jordan, Kobe, Manu. No, like I would most definitely want to base it off of Kyle Anderson. And it's not necessarily because he's the most flashy. It's not necessarily because he, can shoot the lights out. It's because he has so many things in his arsenal. He can play defense. He can rebound. He can basically play any position. Now, going into any position, I wanted to go here. Now, I don't know if you guys recall this. This is quite a few years back, 2017, but this is a younger Kyle Anderson, and this is what Pop had to say about him. Kyle can play the point and handle it. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. He's just a good basketball mind. Now, I wanted to key in on this because I think this speaks volumes of what he could actually bring to the Spurs. So obviously, let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Look, you listening? We need a big man, and we're going to get a big man. And a lot of people will be wondering, well, we have plenty of guards. We'll have big men to really fill in that gap. Where does Kyle Anderson fit? Well, the beauty of Kyle Anderson is exactly what Popovich said right here. He can play any position. So I'll say this right now, and this might be crazy, and people say, no, that's not true. If Kyle Anderson was on this team right now, he would have the highest basketball IQ of anyone on the team. Even if Derek White was still there, I would still say Kyle Anderson has the highest basketball IQ of anyone on the team. And the fact that you can plug him in at point if you need to, if DeJounte Murray needs a break, if Trey Jones is struggling, he's still young, if he's struggling, you can plug in Kyle Anderson and let him run point a little bit. You can put, like I said, you can put him at the 3, or like Pop said, you can put him at the 4. You can put him in so many places. Now, what's most important is that he doesn't have a huge ego. Like, if you know anything about Kyle Anderson, you know he's all for the betterment of the team. That's the only thing he really cares about, and he's willing to come off the bench. So if you get you a guy out of the draft, let's say we sit at 9th, more than likely he's going to start. Okay, the lottery pick is going to start eventually, but let's just say there's a grace period where he doesn't necessarily start. Like, he's coming off the bench. He can learn from Kyle Anderson, because Kyle Anderson can play 1 through 4. He can actually play 1 through 5 at times, but he can play 1 through 4. He's a phenomenal player in that regard, and he can really teach big men moves. Like, he really could. And even if that 9th pick were to start, Kyle Anderson is completely fine with coming off the bench as well. You can plug him into so many different places, and he's just a perfect glue guy. And I'll be honest with you guys, while I feel like we need a little bit more talent, I think part of this team also needs a little bit of IQ. And I know that that's kind of a band-aid, especially when we had Derek White. Sometimes Derek White would really clean up some things. But I know it's a band-aid, but overall, I think that if Kyle Anderson was on this team right now, he would help in so many different positions. So all I'm trying to say is, I understand where people are coming from. Well, he's too slow. You know, what's the point of having him? He's been here before. He might cost too much. I don't buy any of that, because right now, I'll be honest with you guys, we're sitting with a Doug McDermott that I'm not 100% sold on the signing anymore. While he hasn't had a bad season, he's had a very less than impressive season, if I say so. And I just think of someone like Kyle Anderson, if he was in that spot, he would do much better. But there's so many different things he can do, man. The fact that he can handle the ball, he can rebound fairly well, he can play defense, really high IQ defense. He can even catch and shoot. He's not a terrible catch and shoot shooter, okay? So he can catch and shoot if you need him to. He can just play any position, and a guy like that really, and I really mean this, can transcend through eras. I think a Kyle Anderson could have played in almost every single era in basketball, because he can do so many different things. Just a clean player, clean glue guy, can fix your mistakes. And with a team like this that's so young and still growing, you need somebody with that high basketball IQ that can play a big proportion of different roles on the team. So you guys let me know what you think. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but those are just my overall thoughts. I hope I didn't miss anything. I don't think I missed anything. Did I? I don't know. Support the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Until next time, deuces.